Desiree with theastrologyaddiction.com, and thank you so much for watching. Today I wanted to do a fun little video for you guys and basically go over the astrology signs and how someone's appearance can really be affected by which astrology sign they were born under. Now, the thing that I really like to look at is the rising sign, of course. So you do need to know your birth time to know your rising sign. And this is the sign that was ascending over the horizon on the moment that you were born. So if you do know this information, you should be able to pull your chart up on astro.com is what I use, and you'll be able to see what your rising sign is. Now, these things can definitely play out in your sun sign or your moon sign as well. So if you don't know your rising sign, then definitely listen for your sun or your moon sign. Now, with the Aries rising, you want to keep in mind that this person has Mars as their ruling planet of their chart. So they're going to have an appearance that is kind of sharp. And they might have stronger muscles. They might be a little bit more broad in the shoulders. If they're a woman, they can be very fierce and have an intense look about them. They can maybe have sharp features like a jawline, high cheekbones, kind of slanted eyes. They can even have maybe larger legs and muscles, leg muscles, maybe larger feet and things like that. It's a masculine sign, so it is ruled by Mars, like I said. And so these people can be very attractive and gorgeous looking, but they will have some of those more strong and intense features. But they do have a very dynamic and kind of an irresistible quality about them. Some of the celebrities that have an Aries rising are Rihanna, Shakira, and Kendall Jenner. So now we move on to Taurus, which is the second zodiac sign, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So something that I do see a lot of times with a Venus-ruled rising sign, Taurus, is that they can have a very pleasing, look about them. Venus is known for being beautiful, so most often than not, Taurus risings are gorgeous people. They have a really beautiful side to them. They can even come off as maybe being a little bit indulgent in a way. They may really love the designer types of things, so they can go out of their way to make sure that they have those types of items, and that they, take really well care of themselves. Usually people with a Taurus rising, you can tell that they take care of their skin, their hair, their makeup, and they usually take a lot of pride in that. So a few Taurus rising celebrities are Lana Del Rey, Halle Berry, and Mariah Carey. Now these individuals, you definitely can say Halle Berry, of course, is one of the most beautiful women ever on earth, and so that is definitely attributed to her Venus rising Taurus on the ascendant. And with people who have a Taurus rising, they're more stable in the way that they look. They don't really switch up things too often. They definitely have things that they like about how they look and what they do, and they stick to those things. So you probably wouldn't see someone with a Taurus rising going out and dyeing their hair purple or just wearing some crazy different types of makeup. They will pretty much stick to what works for them. And these people are definitely born with a magnetism that people are attracted to, because it is just such a sweetness to how they look. They look very maybe like they're kind, they're easy to approach. Venus on the ascendant can be very attractive. Now, your Gemini rising, these are people who are, they like to switch up their look. They're definitely not stubborn in how they do things. They like to have different looks all of the time. They like to kind of shock people. They're very curious in their mental, and they're ruled by Mercury. So these people are always looking for the new trendy type of thing. They want to make a statement. Celebrities with Gemini rising, Pamela Anderson, Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin. So they kind of look in a way that you wouldn't expect. Sometimes you'll see them one day and they'll have this look, and then the next day they've totally changed how they look. And they also, they definitely take a lot of pride in their appearance, and they think about it a lot. A Gemini rising is someone ruled by Mercury again, so they're going to really put a lot of thought and effort into how they look. And they might even have a bit of anxiety about how they look to the public, because they really want to present themselves in the best way possible. Now, your Cancer risings, we have Angelina Jolie, Liv Tyler, and Cameron Diaz. So Cancer rising people, you're definitely can come off as someone who is safe to be around. You look like you're someone that is nurturing. Cancer rising is ruled by the moon. So wherever the person's moon placement is, you can look for a little bit more information. but basically it's going to show that they have a sweetness to them. They might have some softer features. Cancer rising is a feminine sign, and you know, they might have softer features. A lot of times Cancer risings have very large breasts, big boobs. It's a mothering sign, so you will have those types of features. You might have larger hips and things like that, especially into your adulthood. That is your Cancer rising. Leo rising. Now, Leo rising is someone who they really do things and they like to be appreciated for how they look. They like to get the compliments. They like to be noticed for how they look. And a lot of times people with Leo rising will have some type of big hair. Now, that's just something that I've experienced, and a lot of other astrologers can say the same. They will have big hair, they'll have red hair or blonde hair or something kind of lioness about how they look. And Leo rising celebrities, Donald Trump, Marilyn Monroe, Tina Turner. So these people all have very big personalities. They like to be noticed and appreciated for who they are, basically, but they usually get a lot of attention for how they look. Donald Trump, his hair, that's definitely something that he is kind of famous for, that whole look that he's got going on. Marilyn Monroe, just an icon, very beautiful, and she definitely had the same hair type of situation. But there are a lot of times people that say she was obsessed with how she looked and obsessed with you know, looking a way that was very attractive to people, to men, that she would spend hours and hours doing her makeup and in the makeup room with her team. So that's just something to keep in mind. They really value recognition and kind of the compliments from the public. Now we have our Virgo risings, and that is Madonna, Uma Thurman, Paul McCartney, myself is a Virgo rising. Virgo risings can definitely come off as a little bit nervous or impatient, like they're kind of just always on the go. And in their physical features, they can come off as either very, very put together or kind of very messy. So there's not really an in-between. It's hard to see a Virgo rising just being kind of stable and steady in how they look. They usually either look like they've got it all together and they're looking great and they've been really taking care of themselves and everything is perfect about how they look, or they look pretty messy and like they're a little disheveled and maybe that they're not taking the best care of themselves at that time. And usually this has to do with kind of their mental state. Wherever they're at mentally, that will come off in how they look, because they are ruled by Mercury. Now, they also can be very critical of how they look, so they can take a lot of time to put together their outfits, but at the same time, they're very simplistic. Wearing, you know, simple colors, black, white, not really going too far out of the norm where that's concerned. They do like to try different looks for sure, and it just depends on the other placements of the chart, especially where their Mercury is placed. That will tell you a lot more about that. You know, they like to try new things, but within kind of a boundaries of, well, this is what I'm comfortable with and this is what I know works for me. Definitely a Virgo rising trait. Now, your Libra risings. Libra risings are also ruled by Venus. So this is another sign that is naturally just pleasing and beautiful to look at. People usually with Libra risings are attractive and people really like them. They have something about them that's just naturally good looking. And Libra rising celebrities, Bill Clinton, Britney Spears, Jennifer Aniston, they're all known for kind of their Venusian qualities, right? Bill Clinton, definitely popular with the ladies. Britney Spears is an icon from, you know, when she was a teenager. And Jennifer Aniston is still doted on today for her looks. Now, a Libra rising, another thing that I've heard about Libra risings is they can kind of go back and forth between looking masculine and feminine. Women can sometimes look a little bit more, have masculine features. Not that they look like a man or anything, but they can have stronger features. And the males with Libra rising, they can have maybe some softer facial features and look a little bit more feminine. And it's just that Venus on the ascendant kind of switches things up. Now with your Scorpio risings, these are people who are so magnetic in a way, and it's either in a good way or a bad way. You don't really know. It just depends on the person kind of experiencing this Scorpio rising. They will either be really attracted to them for not sure why, or they will kind of be like, no way, he's not it. No way. And this is kind of due to the fact that Mars rules Scorpio in traditional astrology. And Mars is, it's another aggressive planet. So some people really like that sexual aggression and that rawness that kind of comes off in someone's features. The scariness, sometimes people can have darker features, darker hair, darker eyes, more intense eyes. They can even have, in some cases, they can kind of take on more of like the gothic look. Not always, definitely not always, but Scorpio, any placement, Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio, a lot of times you will see people with more kind of eclectic fashion sense. They want to shock people in a way sometimes, or else they just don't want to be seen. They want to kind of hide away in the shadows and not be noticed as much. So they can definitely wear more black, or just wear kind of things that are not very attention grabbing. Now our Scorpio rising celebrities: Nicole Kidman, Vladimir Putin, and Prince. Now they all have, you can see the Scorpio rising in them in different ways. Vladimir Putin has an intense kind of scariness to him in his face, and you don't really know why. Nicole Kidman, she has a stern, sexy, kind of mature and mysterious way about her. Now Prince, he is, I mean, his symbolism is basically Scorpio. You know, he is very, he's a sexual kind of icon who's very freeing, very intense in a way, and iconic. So these people are all great examples of your Scorpio risings. Now Sagittarius rising, we have people who, they also really like attention. You know, whenever you have a fire sign on the ascendant, these people like to be seen, they like to be noticed, they like to be number one. They want to be the hottest person in the room, and they want all of the attention. And they will do whatever they, you know, feel like they have to do to get the attention. And they'll play it off sort of as they don't really, they're not trying that hard. You know, this is just regular for me. Sagittarius risings are Elvis Presley, Kim Kardashian, and Paris Hilton. So you can definitely see that these people, they like to be out and about. They like to try new things. Jupiter's ruling the ascendant, so they can never get enough. They want to try all of the fashion accessories. They want to try all of the makeup. They want to, you know, just be the biggest and the best of anyone else around them. So that is your Sag rising. Now your Capricorn rising, these people are a little bit more calculated and careful about how they present themselves and how they look. Naomi Campbell, Kylie Jenner, and Taylor Swift, they can be people who are very strict with the way that they dress, the way that they do their hair, their makeup, and they can have a structured way about it. They will have every single piece of the routine down, and they do like to try new things, but they really know what works for them. They've tried many different types of products or many different types of looks, and they know what's best for them. They like to definitely have a powerful presence. It has to be high end. You know, they have to have the best of the best. They have to have the most expensive purse, the newest, you know, item off the runway. And they like to also have sort of a composed wardrobe and a composed look to them. So you'll see a lot of people maybe in the workplace who, you know, wear the same type of suit every day, or they have the same really nice belt and that type of thing. So they take a lot of pride in how they look professionally. Now in Aquarius rising, we have people who definitely look more unique, of course. They look different. They like to change up their looks. They don't really like to do the same things all the time. Celebrities with an Aquarius rising are Christina Aguilera, Barack Obama, and Janis Joplin. So you can just see within those names the difference and the dimension in an Aquarius rising. These people they're unique, and they have a look that is very individualistic to themselves and to who they are. They really don't care what society thinks that much. They're, in some capacity, they might, depending on where their Saturn is placed. For me, I put Saturn as the ruler of Aquarius. So, you know, Barack Obama, I would have to look at where his is, but I would assume it would be in a more structured type of a sign. Whereas Janis Joplin, she might have it in Pisces. So her ruling planet, you know, on that Aquarius makes her probably even, she just doesn't care what people think. Aquarius risings, they can go into any situation and they can figure it out. They can make their way through it. So they will definitely have that kind of I don't care look about them, but it doesn't always look messy, right? It can look just unique and different. Now your Pisces risings, we have Demi Moore, Billie Eilish, and Whitney Houston. Now these people, you can see in Demi Moore, for example, she has kind of an ethereal, kind of a mysterious quality about her. People with Pisces risings usually are very creative and they have a lot of talents, and that can come off in how they look. They want to put that creativity out there for people to see, and they can be very mysterious at the same time because your Pisces is really one of the deepest, most complicated water signs. So they like to kind of show those emotions out, and they want people to, in the way they dress, they might want to kind of shock people in that way. But for Demi Moore, she is very kind of simple, and she's simply beautiful, but there's a mystery to her. There's something that you really want to know more. Whitney Houston's so talented, so beautiful. As far as how someone looks, they can just have a softness to them, like you could be around them and merge with them really easily, or you could have a conversation with them pretty easily, or that they feel like someone that you want to get to know more, but you don't know why. So those are all of the astrology signs and how they can change how people look, or how they can kind of attribute to that. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you're interested in booking a reading with me, my link's in the description box. Have a great day. Bye.